This is Gregorio, as I'm known around these parts as Senor Gregorio. I've been coming to DR since 1984, and I fell in love with the country for its tropical climate, its amazing scenery, its intense geography from the highest mountains to the lowest parts in the Caribbean. I'm basically a Boy Scout at heart, and I love exploring and I love the outdoors. In the ensuing years, I've been living and working on 5 different continents, and always came back to Dominican Republic for a few reasons. One, and I can just sum it up as this: it's a gentler way of living. And how that fits into my lifestyle, working as an international SAP consultant, is that I have great access. The airports, the infrastructure is absolutely fabulous. I can leave in the morning at breakfast and I can be on the beach here at noon. It's a very good country in terms of how things are progressing. One thing that I can be very proud of is to see how the Dominicans and the expats are working so closely together in this part of the world. That's the North Coast, or in my area, Sosúa and Cabarete. There's a number of NGOs that are absolutely driving change in this country, and I encourage you all to take a look and look them up and see what they're doing. And what I've seen over the years as I studied options to live is that the Dominican Republic is maturing very fast, perhaps faster than most other countries. And by that I mean the institutions are gaining strength and they're gaining credibility and integrity. For instance, it is very common now to see the wash your hands in every type of public place, restaurants and the like. The facilities for the roads, the infrastructure, travel. Little things that have happened where there was one farmer with a beat-up old truck offering some fruit on the side of the road. Now I see 6 or 7, and the variety, the quality, and I guess the fun of just shopping at your farmer's market is something that I really enjoy. So what I also like to explain is, in terms of a gentler way of living, you don't see road rage. You see some really crazy antics, and it can be entertaining if you're not behind the wheel. But once you're behind the wheel of a car, you realize everyone is cooperating in a very nice way. It's the norm when you come into park that someone will get off, stop what they're doing and help you back your car in, that sort of thing. The Dominicans, you'll find, are just an absolute lovely people. Their sense of community is super strong. And that's something that I've seen deteriorate over the years in some of the Western countries. What I see here is growing is that the children coming through the education system are much more aware of the world. Their ambition is super high, and what they're achieving is really amazing. Another way I look at it as a gentler way of living is that I coined the phrase, it's twice the life at half the price. As I've been looking towards retirement over the years, I looked at where can I have my foot in my home country and a foot in my adopted country. And it turns out you can do that very well in Dominican Republic. I don't need to have a fancy latest model SUV on the driveway. In fact, I would want one that's a few years old and that can sort of blend in with the local scenery. Another part is you don't need to worry about heating. I come from Canada, and if you didn't have a job and paid your bills, you'd literally freeze to death. Out here, you're not going to have that problem. And I can live here literally at half of what it would cost me in either Canada or the US at a lifestyle that would be superior, what I call twice the life, because I'm a summer person and here it's pretty much summer 12 months of the year. Other little things that happen is in the community, you will find that people are very cooperative. When there's events, social events, there's a festival going on, everybody either chips in or they just get out of the way. There's no anger, no angst. It's a community that is together rather than one that has divisions within it. So it's another part that you sense the undercurrents. The people are cooperative, they care for each other, and part of it means that their quality of life is based on the happiness within their family and their community, and not so much as having to chase the next paycheck. But that's just a comment. Everybody has their own views. I say come down, look at it through your own lens, and see the joy that happens here. So when I did the numbers, I kind of looked in the big way. You need to have accommodation, you need health care, you need food, you need clothing, the usual sorts of accoutrements of life. And when I looked at all that and added it up, I'm able to live as comfortable or even more comfortably in Dominican Republic than I could in either Canada or the US. So what's left over is enough to be able to commute or have my family members come and visit. So in essence, I have one foot in my country of origin and one foot in my country of retirement. So I actually really am living twice the life. Another part to look at are things that are very hard to put numbers on or to assign value to. I want to give you an example how, the classic mañana, mañana really works out in a nice way. For instance, I was renting a car in Sosua. It actually took 3 or 4 hours because a couple of Presidentes showed up, the kids showed up, we had some baseballs and stuff that we brought from Canada. So within the 2 hours, we had 3 generations playing baseball in the back alleyways of Sosua. And so it really is an amazing type of life. You let your hair down, bring joy into your heart, and experience the best that this country has to offer. And these are lasting memories that will always bring smiles to your face. I encourage you to spend as much time in the family sense here. The facilities where we are very family oriented. And what I see daily are the mix of Dominican and returning Dominicans from North America and spending their summer holidays here. And it's a real joy when there's a family of 20, 30 people having a barbecue and they're having fun. The kids are dancing with the grandparents. And that's just the natural way of living. No one has to prod them on. It's just the way that we go. The question comes up, or the discussion happens in terms of safety. And again, from my experience in being in many, many places of the world, and some the sparkling clean capitals of the world, and you just get off into the side streets and you realize that this is not the place to be. And I have to put that in contrast in this North Coast area. There's not a place that I would be uncomfortable to go. The people are very kind, they're gentle. I find more often if I'm walking or I've parked the car on the side of the street, someone's coming along and asking, do you need some help, or you have gasoline? So it's not one of having to live in fear, it's one of having to live with an open mind and realizing that there are very easy ways to get along in this country, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Over here, there's something very interesting, is that probably 90% or more of some ailment you can get assessed and treated by the local pharmacy. Let's face it, if it's a gastrointestinal thing, they've probably seen it all and they're able to prescribe. And it's a very, very simple process. You take 2 of these blue pills, and every 4 hours they write it down in Spanish and English. And quicker than you can make an appointment with a doctor, you're in, out, treated, and on your way to recovery. On the more sophisticated end, I can speak from personal experience, is that the healthcare is world class. They got the job done, they did it accurately, they did it very fast, and they also, the people in the hospitals here are trained not just in Dominican Republic, but I think each and every one of the doctors also had postgraduate degrees from either European or North American universities of renown. So I'm very, very confident. I've spoken to a lot of other expats about their worries in the medical care. People have had heart bypass procedures and that, and they said it was a heck of a lot nicer, smoother, and a lot less expensive than if they were in their home country. Speaking about things on the front end, and that's where accidents do happen, very pleased to see that they have a 911 service that's been brought into play. The ambulances are shiny new, the staff in the facilities are working very well, and when I talk to my Dominican friends, everybody seems very pleased that this service has come into being. And along with that, there's more and more talk in the sports and the adventure groups about having that frontline first responder program. The example I use is the Canadian Ski Patrol system, where it's not just the frontline response, but it's a whole system of training, certification, teamwork, and full integration into the medical system, so they speak the same language. And that's what I mean by a system. The Dominicans are already taking and working with a lot of organizations on the basic life saving. We see that in the water sports. And now when someone is rescued, they are going to be taken very good care of. Yeah, so in living here, I'm a type of person who likes to keep active. A lot of the charitable work I've contributed as a volunteer to a number of organizations, from the Dominican Jazz Festival to the Dream Project to the Little Dolphins, and there's many, many more. And these programs are extremely well done, and they're facilitating some really, really dynamic changes for the better in this country. One of the ones I'm personally involved with is the Wine to Water program. I have a background as a water chemist, and I'd like to say what I have seen is just amazing. The target audience for this are families where at least one, and it's usually the woman, is spending a minimum of 5 hours a day to fetch water for their family. And even then, the water they get from the family at times can be dodgy, and there are the occasional bouts of gastrointestinal illness and so on that then interrupts their schooling and interrupts their work. And as you know, if you're not able to bring home the paycheck, then your landlord is not going to be happy with you. So these families that receive these water filters are now saving 5 hours a day each of human energy. And so it's not just bringing the pure water to the family, it's also allowing them to apply that energy in other directions. So what is a very nice part of the program is when there's a sponsor who provides a water filter for a family, is that they stay in touch on social media, so you can see how the effect of that additional 5 hours a day can benefit their family. In many cases, it's the woman. In pretty much every case, it is the woman who's fetching the water, or their children. And now they're opening up micro businesses. And the micro business may bring just a little bit more money so that their children can take some additional school courses and things like that. How it is done is absolutely, it's all very high-tech, scientific, and it's all locally made here in Dominican Republic. It's a water filter that I encourage you to take a look at. The technology is tried and true. It's a standard type of technology used around the world. And we are targeting to help 300 people in a village this year. We have reached our goal. We're 1/3 of the way to our goal, and maybe by the end of the next few weeks, we'll be another 1/3 of the way to our goal. So thank you very much. Do look up Wine to Water, and our organization is called letsgo2dr.com, and that's the number 2. We have a number of high-end rentals, and 100% of the proceeds, as well as the goodness of the heart of other donators, is all the proceeds go to the local charities. So a couple other things that I really enjoy doing here are some of the really fun, exciting adventure sports. This is, after all, the center of the universe for the Master of the Ocean series. That is the quadrathlon of the water sports: kiteboarding, surfing, windsurfing, and stand-up paddleboarding. The event is approaching its second decade. It is a world-class, it attracts people from all over the world, and my involvement is mostly as an observer, and our foundation also supports 2 of the local athletes each year to get into these international competitions. We're very proud to say they are making it onto the world stage. It is Dominican proud, and that is through the hard work of people like Marcus Bohm, the founder of the Master of the Ocean. And you cannot talk in this sphere without bringing up Susie Mai and the Cabarete International Kite Festival. It is absolutely one of the most amazing events to see. It is centered here in Cabarete. It draws the very best athletes from all over the world, and this is going to continue to be the mecca for water sports. So do come out, try it yourself, or just watch and be amazed. You'll see Cirque du Soleil in front of your eyes as the locals are doing some amazing tricks. And of course, they are more than happy to help you learn how to do this and make sure you're having a fabulous time. Thanks, folks. See you soon on the beach.
All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed listening to this wise man, and feel free to check out his information about the projects that you're involved in there, Gregory. And thanks for watching. Don't forget, recommend the video to others, subscribe if you haven't, tick like, and we'll see you down here. Bye-bye.